Okay. Hi. So this time around, I thought we'd work on a project for Mother's Day. Mother's Day is coming up. I just realized next Sunday, a week from now. And so I thought I would work on something for Mother's Day, although it doesn't have to be. This is something I made for my daughter-in-law last year for her first Mother's Day. And it was part of a package I put together. I'm going to show you. I don't have a copy of it. I don't have the original. She has it. I sent it to her. And what it is Max is a baby. My little turtle Max is a baby napping with his parent. And it could be his mom. It could be anyone. It could be anyone you choose. But they're laying down on a cushion, either on a bed, on a sofa, on the floor, on blankets. They could be laying on anything we choose, but we're going to put this together tonight, right? We're just going to start by drawing a rectangle, and we don't want it to be too big or too small. The size is completely up to you, but we're going to draw, first we're going to draw just a rectangle. Now, because it's a sofa, or cushions, or a blanket, or the rug, you can draw all kinds of designs in there or not, but I just want to keep it easy. When I was originally putting it together, I was going to have them laying on this, a rug that I had made, a rug I had designed, but this is just going to take too much time. We're going to keep it simple. But you, however, you know, if you decide that you're going to do this, you can do whatever design you like. It doesn't matter. But I'm just going to keep it simple. So we've got a rectangle, and then I just for a little bit of variety in the illustration, I'm going to draw two lines at the ends, making two thin rectangles. And then what I did on my original was split the big rectangle into three sections like that. I don't know why. It's just what I did. So I'm going to grab my big fancy brush pen and make the lines. You can measure this if you like, if you want it a little bit more exact. I don't tend to worry about things, but let me see how we did. Let me see if I even came close. Like I said, I don't tend to worry about the size or I just don't worry about much. I just go ahead and do it. Let's see. Yeah, my lines are a little funky. It's okay. Either way, it doesn't matter. This is just a fun project. This isn't homework. All right. Let's go ahead. And what I want to do, this is just my design, is I want these cushions to be separated. So I'm going to draw all these, instead of drawing one big rectangle, I'm going to draw a bunch of rectangles. Like that. Just like that. Oh, I forgot the long rectangle at the end, the skinny long one. Again, the lines don't have to be perfect. They can be thin and fat. They can just be dots. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's whatever you want it to be, however you want to draw it. So there's my second rectangle-y cushion thing in the edge. I'm going to draw my third rectangle-y cushion thing. And it's late tonight. It's dark out. The sun is long gone. But I just needed to do something nice today, so I thought, let's sit down and make this instead of watching a television show until bedtime, because that's a waste of time. Let's do something that's a little bit nicer and makes my heart feel better. So there we go. I've got 1, 2, 3 rectangles, and then 2 very thin long rectangles at the end. And this is all I did for design in them. Oh, sorry, I did a little bit of design in them. But on the end pieces, I just drew lines. So they could be fringe on a rug. It could be design on a fabric. It could be a lot of things. My lines are never perfect. They sometimes go outside the big lines. Sometimes I double up on my lines. Then we'll do the other end, just lines. Like I said, you can draw flowers, you can do whatever you want. This is just how I'm going to do this tonight. Replicating the Mother's Day gift I sent Dana last year. Alright, and now I want to draw stitching inside the big rectangles, because I'm pretending those are cushions. So I'm just going to draw fat lines like that. No particular length, no particular thinness or thickness, just little dotty lines. Just like that. Oops. There. That's it. Now I'm going to cut that out, the whole shape out. Again, not right on the line, leaving a little space between the scissors and the black lines. Just quick and easy cutting it out and leaving some space. Sometimes I like to cut the corners off. Whoops! Cut a little bit of the end off too, but that's okay. So now we've got the cushion they're going to lay on. Now this is going to be tricky because we don't want them to be bigger than this, than the cushions they're laying on, or the sofa, or whatever it is that they're laying on. We want them to be smaller. So I'm going to have figures, when I come down here, have the figures to be in total. See those lines? That's how long they're going to be. With the blanket on her toes. I think we're going to make them about that long. So they're not as long as this. But I can still make them big. But she's going to have pillows under her head too, see? So we don't want to take her, we don't want those figures to take up the whole cushion or the whole sleeping area. And then we don't want them to be too wide either. So we're going to put them like that. Okay? And this is going to be easy. Ready? Actually, oh, I see. And the pillow, no, it's okay. We're going to do this. We're going to draw an oval. That's going to be the parent's head right there. The oval at an angle. Why don't I do this? That would be the parent's line of the body. And there's the oval. It's kind of at an angle. It doesn't have to be just like this. It doesn't have to be. Because they're sleeping. But we're going to draw their arms. There's the shoulder. There's the upper arm coming down to the elbow, coming down to the hand. We're going to draw the other arm, shoulder, down to the elbow, down to the arm. Now we're going to draw Baby Max. And Baby Max, we're going to start off with the head. Another oval. Baby Max's body will be kind of going over like this, just a little bit. And Baby Max, we don't have to draw the shoulders. We're just going to draw, there's his arm, another oval, his other arm, another oval, there's his torso, it's just a rectangle, doop doop, and his little legs come down like that. Draw the inside of the legs. And what I did here was I curved it a little bit because he's going to come down to his knee and then down to his feet. Just like that. Do the same thing on the other side. Knee to feet to foot. Okay. Baby Max is wearing a diaper. So we're going to give him a triangle. And Baby Max was wearing a sweater. And there's the line for the sweater, the bottom of the sweater. I'm going to draw his eye, just shut, right there. I'm going to kind of fix his head a little bit because it's got a little bit of an angle where it comes down to his nose. So we're just going to kind of sharpen that up a little bit. But it's not going to matter too much. Let's see. Woo! There we go. Because we're going to make his parent's arm right there. That's the turtle's hand. And the turtle's hand is holding a binky, which would be another oval right there. It's not making a lot of sense right now, but it will when we go to ink it in. And we're going to put in the parent's eye. Well, we're going to do this first. We're going to take a little bit off the back of that oval. There's the back of the parent's head. I'm just making a line like this, the neck and the back of the head. Okay? And then the eye. So it was just the back of the head curving down into the neck, which comes down into the shoulder, the parent's eye. And then Max we've got pointed that way, parent we have pointed that way. And we're going to put a pillow under their head, whether it's Max's mommy or his auntie or maybe his dad. Like I said, I decided to do this for Mother's Day, but it doesn't have to be. So there's the pillow. It's like a funny angled square. So just a line, line, line. We're going to draw in the blanket. And I kind of bunched the blanket up here so it's covering his parents' chest just a little bit. And it'll have little folds in it, so we'll draw little lines like that. And then for the blanket, I'm covering Max's parents' legs right down to the feet. Okay, so I drew this line down. That's the blanket coming down to the feet. Tucked the feet in, nice and snug, with a line at the bottom. And then drew another line like this. Kind of like a sleeping bag, but it's not. It's a blanket. They're just all wrapped up in it. And I'm going to just draw a couple of lines for where the blanket got a little bunched up. Just like that. Okay? Let's grab our pen and get to work. Put this to the side. I'm going to start off with the pillow, which again is just a funny shaped square or almost a rectangle. Okay. Now I'm going to do the head, but the head, what I forgot to do when I was doing the pencil lines, gets a little pointy down at the nose. And turtles do have little noses and little mouths. So it's a little pointy down on this end. I'm going to start off with the nose end, the little pointy end, but we're not going to make it too sharp. Going around the back of the head, and then the neck. Now I'm going to draw the front, the nose part, just a couple of lines, and the jaw. So we still have a rectangle. I mean, we still have an oval. It's just not super oval. Well, I guess it is. Yeah, depends on how you look at it. Drew in the eye. But now I'm going to put in the shoulder. And I want the shoulder up just a little bit. Just a little bit, like that. So it looks like their head is tucked into their shoulder. Now I'm going to draw the upper arm, and it's just one line. That's all it is, one line. The lower arm, down like that. And we're going to draw lines. We're going to draw a line on the inside so you can see what would be the hand on the turtle, and it's kind of covering the diaper a little bit, but they're snuggling. They are snuggling. So now I'm going to draw that line for the shoulder down that way, and then the arm disappears under the blanket. So all I'm going to draw from the blanket is a little line there for the elbow. That line there for the elbow. Then the elbow is going to come up from the elbow to the hand. Okay. And from the inside of the elbow is a hand. 2 lines. We've got the hand part, the hand on the turtle, and turtles do have, they kind of do have fingers, but I keep mine very simple. I don't give them fingers all the time. Drawing the binky. Now I'm going to start drawing Max. The back of his head down to his neck. Just 1 line. From the top of his head down to his nose. And then just like his parent, a little jaw underneath. Okay? Now I'm gonna do his hands first. Whoops. There. That's all it is. It's just like a upside down C, and I put a line there. That's where his sweater starts. 2 lines for his arm, and then a little C for his elbow. Going over to his other arm, which is right here. We drew it right there. Right there. We're going to do 2 lines again, and then a little C for his elbow. I can kind of see his hand, so I'm going to draw the line for the sweater, and then his hand right there. Oop, and his eye, which is just a line like that. I drew a fat line, so it looks like his eye might be open a little bit. So we want to do the bottom of his sweater, which is just above his diaper. And we'll draw the diaper. Another line right under the sweater line. Now we're going down into a V. You know what I did forget? Diapers have little fasteners on them. So before I make that V, I'm going to do a fastener, which is just a tiny rectangle. Now I'm going to do the diaper. 2 lines. There we go. We got the diaper. Draw his leg from his thigh down to his knee. Inner thigh down to the inside of his knee. From his knee down to his foot. From the inside of his knee down to his foot. And then the bottom of his foot, just like that, just 1 line. Now we'll do the other side. I have to do this upside down. I'm going to do this backwards now. From his foot to his knee, from his knee to his thigh. Okay. From the inner thigh to his knee, inside of his knee, from the inside of his knee down to his foot, just like that, and then the bottom of his foot. There he is, there's Max. Ooh, I forgot the neck of his sweater. The neck of his sweater is going to follow his jawline, just like that. But we're going to do 2 lines pretty close together. That's the collar of his sweater, right there. Those 2 little lines. And they might be hard to see now, but they won't be in a little bit. Now we're going to draw the blanket. We had the blanket way up here. We have the blanket way up here, because the parent is kind of covered. There. Okay. Their shoulder and arm is covered, so it's going to be line there, and then the line coming out from the inside of the elbow. And we've got the blanket coming out from the outside of the elbow, the actual elbow, and coming down to the tooties, down to their feet. And we've got the other side where it's coming out here. Oops. It's a hard angle for me to draw out. Coming down like that. And then the feet. Okay. Then we're going to draw a couple of little folds. Remember I said that there probably would be folds in the blanket because they don't lay out smooth all the time and you kind of get tangled up in them. Just a couple of lines. You can make your folds more elaborate than that. I'm not going to. I'm going to stick with that. Okay, now I made kind of fancy designs on my original one. Let's see how far we can get with this. Let's see how we do. On the blanket, I made roses, and I did make some roses, but I made some other flowers that were very generic. And I'll show you how I did them. They're quick and they're easy. We make a little circle like that. And then around it, we make, instead of tiny little petals, just squiggly lines. So they're almost in a circle, but not quite. And then you want the stem of the flower, just a little line coming down. And the leaves. And those are going to be 2 lines. And sometimes I give my flowers 2 leaves. So I'm going to do 2 curvy lines. Just like that. We've done that in other videos. Let's draw, made the curvy lines, the flowers like that. We just keep it simple. Let's draw another one of these flowers down here in this big empty space right here. It's going to be a circle, and the circle doesn't have to be perfect. Circle, and then the squiggly lines around it. So it looks like the outside of a very big flower in our imagination. Now we'll draw, how do we want that stem to go? Maybe the stem goes this way. Put the stem that away. And leaf. 2 curvy lines. We kind of get lost behind Max's leg, but it's okay. Let's just draw another flower head, or part of another flower head down here by their feet. So I've got a circle and squiggly line circle around it. That's it. And you know what? We don't have to draw the stem. Maybe the stem is hidden. Okay, so that's it for the big flower, the big rose, or the big flowers. Now we're going to draw some spirals, and I'll show you. Try and make it big so you can see it. A spiral is just that. Okay. We can go the other way if I can figure it out. That's it. Spiral. And we don't want them to be even or perfect. We just want them to be. And we're going to put them in different places on the blanket where there's empty space. We're actually going to fill up this empty space with squares and other shapes. But right now I'm just putting in some spirals. And you can put them in any way you like. Did I want to do a backwards one? Let me see if I can remember how to do a backwards one. There we go. Ooh, I forgot to put something up here. Maybe we'll do another flower. Put a circle there. Squiggly lines around it. Just like that. Don't want to forget that blanket, that part of the blanket. And we'll do, let's do a spiral up somewhere up here. There, I put one right there. Maybe I'll put one here too. Okay. We just want the idea of the spiral. We want the idea of the flowers. Now let's put in squares. And we're just going to put them in random places like that. Like that. Like that. And I like to take my drawing and turn it. So I make sure that we have something everywhere. Oh, I think I'm going to put the tail end of the spiral right there. We have something everywhere, and it's interesting. We don't want to forget up here. Put a square up here, square over here. So I put a square there, square there, square, 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 square. Let's see. Put one there. Just like that. I'm going to take my smaller pen, the one with a finer point on it, and I'm going to make some lines, just like we did up here and in other projects we've worked on. I'm just going to put some lines. Put some lines in the leaves on our flower. Right there. Put some lines there. I'm going to turn my paper. Put some more lines in. Just like that. There. And then do it in the squares. Just simple lines. Like that. Simple lines in the other squares. Whoop. I don't want my lines to be going all the same way, so I keep turning the page so I see it with fresh eyes. Line. You just got to remember where you put your squares so you can put your lines in. Right. So I put the lines in. I think this needs a little something. What did I do when I tried? I think, I've got a blank space that's bothering me. I have a blank space right there that's bothering me. So I'm going to make another spiral, but going in the opposite direction, just like that. So it feels a little fuller. We also don't have anything on the fold. So we want to put the idea of something in the fold. Maybe we'll put in part of a flower. Not the whole thing. But I put a circle there and then the outline of a flower there. Because I want this to feel full. And I think maybe the idea of a spiral there. So I just put in a couple of lines. There's the flower, there's the circle for the center of the flower, the outside of the flower, and the idea of a spiral right there. And we could do more. We could make this really intricate, but we're going to keep it simple. Now we're going to do the pillow. Let me take some pencil line off first. Oh no, let's do Max's sweater. Then we'll do the pillow, which is going to be pretty complicated. That's my table making noise, by the way. Max's sweater is again just going to be lines. All right, I'm going to make a cuff here for his sweater, and that's just going to be a line like that. Okay, just like that. I'm going to make a cuff on the other arm, so it's another line like that. Now we're going to do thin lines for the sweater on his arms, just like that. Thin lines on the other arm. Just like that. Those two. Now we're going to do the body of the sweater right there. More lines, more thin lines. And now I have my fancy pens, but you're going to use whatever you have. I actually only have two fancy pens, my brush pen and a medium-sized Faber-Castell pen. Faber-Castell is the company that makes it, and this has an M on it, which means it's medium, and those are my favorites. But you use what you have. Now we're going to make some lines on the cuff. They're going to be a little bit bigger than the lines on the sleeve of the sweater. Just a little bit bigger. Same thing on the other cuff. And then this is his collar. Don't forget, this is his collar. Those two thin lines right there. We're going to put, here, I just put 3 little lines in there so you can see his sweater. This doesn't look like a binky though. This looks just like a weird thing. I wonder if, let me see. Here, nah, that looks even weirder. Where's my, oh, let me see. Oh, I don't have any white out. It's okay, we'll live. I was trying to put a handle in his binky. I did 2 lines, like on a rectangle, and then I rounded it. You can do that if you like, or you can just leave it. But now I'm going to move on to the pillow. I think I liked it better without the little binky thing on it, but there we go. We're going to make leaves on the pillow. We're going to actually make branches, and so we're going to do a line like that. This is the design on the fabric on the pillow. We're going to make branches. So there's one line. I'm going to make another one up here. We don't really need more than that. Now we're just going to put on the leaves. The leaves are going to be a line like that. That's the branch. This is the leaf coming off of it. That's the center. So just make a line off the branch. Can you see it? Yeah, you can. And then we're going to make two lines on either side. And there's our leaf. We're going to do another one. A line. And then 2 curvy lines on either side. 1, 2. There's our leaf. We're going to do the same thing. I think we're going to do one here too. Straight line, 2 curvy lines. Another leaf. We're going to give the idea of a leaf over here by her head. If you have enough room, draw the whole leaf. I don't. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I think I want the branch going this way. So I'm going to draw a line off the branch, 2 curvy lines, just like that. Another line off the branch, like that. 2 curvy lines. There we go. Now I'm just going to draw some extra leaves in. She needs one up here. So I'm going to pull a leaf here, just 1 line, and then 2 curvy lines. Right there. 1 line and 2 curvy lines. And let's see, where else do I need one? I think you need part of a leaf right here. So I'm just going to do 2 curvy lines. And then I think I need one here too. 2 curvy lines. We don't need a lot, we just need a little. And now I'm going to draw them in with my brush pen. And my brush pens I can get at the art supply store. They're anywhere from $2 to $3. You can get them at Michael's Art Supply. I'm not sure if they sell them at Hobby Lobby. I don't shop there. But Dick Blick, Jerry's Artorama. There's all kinds of art supply stores where you can get them. But I go to my local art supply store and get them there normally. Just so you know, but you don't have to have these. You can also get something like this at Staples. They may have something like this at the dollar store. I'm not sure, but they're anywhere. They're $2 to $3. They're a little expensive, so I try and take care of mine. I try not to push down and mash them. That's the hard part for me. Let's draw in the leaves. Ready? 2 curvy lines. There's part of a leaf. I'm going to just draw part of another leaf. 2 curvy lines. There it is. By your shoulder, right there. Another one. Line down the middle. Curvy line. There it is. There's the leaf right by her head. I'm going to draw the branch. And I like to make my branches a little thinner at the top and thicker at the bottom. So there's the thin one, at the top of that thin line, 2 curvy lines for a leaf. Another leaf, line down the middle, 2 curvy lines. Right there. Drawing another leaf, it's a line down the middle, 2 curvy lines. Okay. Another leaf, line down the middle, 2 curvy lines. I'm going to draw another leaf off this other branch that I made. Sorry. Line down the middle, 2 curvy lines. Line down the middle, 2 curvy lines. So there, she's got leaves on her pillow. I'm going to take my skinny pen. This is the medium one. This is about the same price as my brush pen. Again, they're by Faber-Castell. They're called Pitts. P-I-T-T. Pitt Artist Pens. I try and get these with a coupon, so if I have to go to a big store, then I use a coupon. So we keep it about around $2 a piece. At my local art supply store, I think they're $2.50 or $3. I don't remember, but I do like my local art supply store, so I try and buy there. I'm just going to draw like some berries, a branch, and the branch will be a line with just circles around it, like berries. Just like that. I'm going to draw some more berries up here, which is just a line, like that, and some circles around it. Okay. I'm going to draw, I think maybe just a couple of circles in here. Right there. Because I'm filling in a little bit of space. The rest of them, I'm going to draw a line rather, sorry, and some circles. The rest of it, which we're going to do now, are just lines. And the lines are going to run in different directions. And that's so it feels fluid. It feels like it's in motion. Right? Let me see if I can angle this so you can see. I'm not going to pick any particular spot to go in any particular direction. I'm just going to do it. See? Now I'm going to go over here. And just draw some lines. I'm going to go here. And just draw some lines right there. Same here. Just draw some lines. I've got a blank space there. I've got a blank space here. And I just drew lines. I'm going to come over here and draw the lines in a different direction so it's interesting. There. Believe it or not, we're almost done. Just drawing some lines there. I'm going to go over here. Draw some lines here. Sorry, I'm just jumping ahead. There. Oops. There, her pillow is done. And you see how the lines all go in different directions? Okay, now we're going to cut it out. Now you can make this blanket more intricate. You can give the blanket lines. But my thinking is that you can copy it and with crayons or colored pencils, you can color it in. Kitty. See, I'm cutting it out, but again, I'm not cutting right along the black lines. I'm just cutting big, easy shapes. I'm not being too careful. I'm staying away from the black lines. I know, Kitty. I know. What? What? Kitty. Sometimes my cutting is clumsy, but it's all right. There we go. There she is. Or there they are. Okay, now, let me turn this back on. In my original illustration, and we are almost done, I promise. In the original illustration, I had them up on 2 pillows. There's one under here that's pretty, it's just a blank space. I just liked that extra, that extra pillow. So we're going to do that, but look at how they fit together. Isn't that nice? I know, Kitty. It is very nice, Kitty. So the pillow is just going to be, notice I took the scrap paper we had left over. I didn't grab more paper. All we've used is 1 sheet of scrap paper, literally scrap paper. Not my fancy stuff, just scrap paper, what we had laying around. So I just drew my funny rectangle like a pillow. It's just kind of all over the place. And it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And now we'll cut that out. It was pretty easy. Not cutting right on the black line, just cutting around it. There. Let's take a peek. How does it look under them? Oh, wow, look. Look at, they're all comfy and cozy. But now we're going to do what we've done in other projects. We're going to make them sit up just a little bit. Not the whole thing. We don't want them floating above too much. We want them kind of laying down. So we're just going to lift this pillow up by making some rolls, like we've done in other videos. So I'm going to cut a rectangle shape, and I'm going to put some glue on it. And roll it up. Let's see how this works though. Let's see if this is big enough, if it's too big or too small. Let's go find out. No, I think that works fine. Now notice I didn't measure, I just did it. That's it. This is how I paint. This is how I do everything. I just kind of do, and we learn from there. So I put some glue on the back. I'm going to glue it up here. Just, it doesn't matter where. Just somewhere up there where they're going to lay their heads down. I'm going to take some glue, put a little bit on, and then take the first pillow and lay it on top of the roll. So you get this. Okay. Now watch, this is where it's going to get really fun. This is going to feel real. Whoops. Kitty's up. Yeah, Kitty's up to something. Yep, come here. Kitty's up to something. He wants a little bit of trouble. So we're going to figure out where do we want that their heads to lay? Right about there, maybe? I think so. And I think we can put another roll under there and have her lift up, or we can just glue her to the pillow. I want to see what it's going to look like with another roll underneath and her lifted up, or the parent lifted up just a little bit. So I've got this little piece of scrap paper left. Kitty! Kitty! He's having a temper tantrum. He wants to go out in the garage and I won't let him. Because the last time I did, he peed on my carpets out there. So he's staying indoors. He's going to stay indoors. So I put a little bit of glue on that piece of paper. Now I'm rolling it up. Whoops. I'm rolling it up. That cat is not going to stop. I'm going to take this roll that we just made. Hey, can you stop that, please? Stop. Stop. It's enough noise. All right, so sorry, I put a little bit of glue on the back of that. I'm going to glue it onto the pillow. Onto that first pillow, just like that. Now I'm going to glue the parent on. We don't want to put too much glue on. I put too much glue on other projects and then it gets wrinkly. We don't want the paper. We want you to stay. We don't want the paper to get too wrinkly either. This may work, it may not. We'll see. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue up there. press it down just a little. Press those rolls down just a little. Look at it. Look at it. So they're standing up a little. Not too much. Then we'll put a little bit of glue here. Just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. Down by the feet. And there we go. There's our finished project. We did it. We made it for Mother's Day. We did it. You don't have to make this for Mother's Day. You don't have to make it for any reason. But you can make this and give it to somebody you love. Now don't forget, we cut everything out and then we glued it together. But the option always is that you make everything, you get it cut out, and then you can photocopy it, and you can that way you can make the project over and over and over again. It doesn't have to be just once. Like, let's say you want to make something, you want to make this, you've got the design, you've got the project, but you have multiple people you want to send this to. You can photocopy it, and then you can make the project over and over again. Or you can color it different ways. Anyway, if you make yourself many copies of it, then you've got a project. You can redo, whatever. Anyway, a lot of chatting. Let's call it a day, shall we? Thank you so much for doing this with me. This was really, really fun, and it's just what I needed today. Just what I needed to calm myself down. Anyway, let's do this again soon, all right? Ciao. Ciao. Here, one more time. One more look. Here we go. Say night-night. Ciao.